following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man never thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars. He'll dress.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello. Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. It's going to be a lot of fun, and super excited. We have Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees coming on, and then we have hip-hop producer Nate Sounds coming on. It's going to be a great show. Already the chat room is packed with people, but before we say hi to the chat room, we got to say hi to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Yes, I am here. I don't feel well. I have had a procedure done where the urologist goes up your wang, check, make sure your prostate and your bladder, everything's okay. And everything was okay. But somehow bacteria got in and I've developed a urinary tract infection.
Thanks.
If you've never had one, they are painful. I am exhausted. Last night, I think I peed about 44 times. I'm not lying. Every 2 minutes, you have to pee, like urgency, like you're going to burst. And then when you go, it dribbles out. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing on this show today. I may just go to sleep. I don't know. I hate this urinary tract infection. You know, most women get them. And I never heard of really men getting them, but you can. If you have an object in your body that wasn't sterilized. I don't know what's with these hospitals today. It seems that you go into a hospital and you get sepsis, whatever it's called. You get all these diseases. So you come out sicker than you went in. Now with COVID, I mean, I just think they have to, I don't know what they have to do, but hospitals are the dirtiest places to go. You're better off having in-house treatment if possible. Anyway, so much for the PB conversation.
So let's talk about, let's say hi to everybody. We got the chat room is building up quickly. We have artist Miss Kim. Hello. How are you? We have Cambria Carpenter, Cindy Ladylake, who's been promoting the show like crazy because she's a huge 98 Degrees and Jeff Timmons fan. Pat Grant has joined us in the chat room. Teresa Saban from Florida is in the chat room. You know, Angela Joseph is in the chat room. She says, so sorry, hugs.
Yeah, I know, but what can I do?
So there's some new people I haven't seen. Backpack John is there. Hey, Backpack John. Going quick. Boomer Mays, football player, just showed up. Eileen is there. She says loves everybody. And hi, Eileen. How you doing? She's actually interviewed Jeff Timmons before. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And
Stop saying
I know I can't help it.
It's so not professional.
Yes.
I hate that when people do speeches and they do.
They do that a lot too.
You know, the first thing you're taught when you're an oral person, not oral that way, oral speaker, they teach you do not do any of the ahs, e's, and ohs and ohms, because it's very annoying to people that have to listen. Every time you start a sentence with
I did it one time and I hardly ever
You did it twice, Mary Lou.
Either way.
Mary
That's because
Lou,
I'm trying to talk to the chat here and the chat here.
You did it twice.
Okay, but I don't do it normally.
Twice is not
in all
nice.
The shows.
Twice is not nice.
And all the shows that we do. Pat Grant wants to know how we're doing. Ron's got a urinary tract infection. I'm doing okay, except for that my knee still hurts and it's not supposed to hurt this much. But
falling apart.
We're falling apart. The weather's nice, even though today in the desert it is kind of overcast and it's been raining. And it was like 40-something degrees last night, so it was a little chilly. So we don't have the sun, and it's not beautiful today, unfortunately.
We have, like 344 days of beautiful weather. We get one or two rain days. So big deal.
Yeah, we don't get
in
very
a
many
year. I mean, I like the rain. I miss it. It's very good for your complexion. You should go out and let raindrops be falling on your face.
Absolutely.
Raindrops
And Thomas
falling
Claxton
on
just
my
joined
head.
us. Say hi
Hey,
to Tom.
Tommy,
Hey, what's up? I hope you're doing well.
What's going on? Hi to your girlfriend if you got the same one.
I think
Who
she
knows?
does.
Does? Good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah.
like
Pat Grant says her weather is a blizzard because she lives in like up in Canada, someplace where it's like
well.
below 30 degrees or
Yeah,
something.
well, that's not good for your complexion.
That's funny.
No, freezing cold cracks your skin, makes you look like you have a rosacea.
Thomas Clacton's in Savannah, Georgia. He says it's 70 degrees. That's beautiful.
Yeah, Savannah's nice. We'll be working in Savannah. I just got another job. I love to tell you. I don't know if I'm supposed to
I
say
wouldn't be
it.
telling people.
Well, I
It's
do.
not written. You haven't signed a contract. You don't definitely have it.
Well, I do have it because I was asked if I want it by the producer, and I said yes, I'd like to play it.
Okay, but I wouldn't mention it.
I get permission to say the very interesting part I'm playing. You won't even know it's me. That's how much disguise I'll be under.
There you go. Say hi to Teresa Sabin too. Teresa, you're fabulous. She always writes such nice things and shares all my stuff.
She's a good person.
She's fabulous. You gotta love it. So you guys too, we've been watching all kinds of cool stuff on our television. We got a smart TV that has like everything on it, so we don't have to go. So Ron literally goes.
Right. I'm gonna pick up.
But he has a hard time learning.
Oh,
We're both having a hard time learning how to use it.
Please, you got to be out of your mind. They give you a little thing this big, and you're supposed to push buttons, and I push the wrong buttons. It goes all over the world.
But he spends lots of time watching, because now we can watch YouTube documentaries on old celebrities and old stars.
All the interviews.
And he can watch them on a 75-inch TV instead of having to watch on his little computer.
And I'm looking at interviews of people I've interviewed, and they stink. My interview was far better. All of my interviews are on YouTube. I mean, I don't understand how people think they can do interviews. They just think they can. Oh, I'm going to be an interviewer. I'm going to do a show. I'm going to create one on what is this crap called? What do you call it?
Just a show.
What is it called? What we go out on?
We're on StreamYard.
Well, whatever that junk is.
On the internet.
And the internet. And they think they're going to have a talk show. Well, they're boring, and they don't even know the questions to ask. Usually the guest takes over and doesn't stop talking. So what's the talk show host doing there? He's just a puppet. It's a cardboard. My interviews are good because mine are conversational. And I ask questions that everybody out there wants to know. I don't fool around. I go right to the kill. I don't mind the stars. They're very happy about it. Anyway, I've been interviewing for a lot of years. Let me tell you something. It's a lot of thinking and being sure you don't offend anybody or your guest. You have to be funny. And there's no script. So
it's funny too, because before the pandemic started, you guys, there was 750,000 podcasts in the world. Now, since the pandemic, last time I saw, there was 1.3 million. So the amount of podcasts in the last year doubled what there was for the whole world, and it doubled in a year? I guess a year. It's been a year.
And everybody's now doing a talk show. They don't even know. Not even famous. I don't even know who they are. They just think like people who are stuck in the house and they say, "I'm going to make a talk show," and they get some nobody on and they embarrass themselves. Anyway, what do I care? I'm in a shitty mood because I don't feel good. I had to have liquid antibiotics because lucky me, I couldn't get an infection, urinary infection, oral crap can
antibiotics.
So I had to go into this place for the last 5 days. So my body right now is filled with liquid.
He had to go the last 5 days and get liquid antibiotics for half an hour.
What am I?
A
See,
day.
now you have to repeat for me now? What am I?
No, because you're not telling people. They don't know if you just took it a second ago or if you only took it
well,
once.
I was going there. Before you jump the gun,
Well, that's okay.
Mary, fairy, quite contrary. Before you jump the gun and I put this mic down your throat.
Thomas Claxton says it's pandemic podcasts, posers.
Right. Anyway, so it leaves you this crap that they're pumping in my body is leaving me spellbound. I'm sort of like euphoric. It's like you smoke pot and you're coming down. That's what it feels like. Not that I ever smoke pot.
He doesn't smoke pot, actually.
I eat it.
Not very often.
Well, when I can, I eat a gummy bear.
Actually, he just eats like a head or an ear.
I don't
or something.
smoke. Smoking and putting smoke in your body is insanity. I don't give a shit. Even in that crap that Eileen smokes. That what is it called? Vapors. That junk is worse. It makes cottage cheese lungs.
Artist Kim says drink cranberry juice, which he has been drinking, and he takes cranberry pills.
I'm taking cranberry pills and 2 vitamin C, 500 units each. That's supposed to do something. And we'll see. But it's extremely painful. Who really gives a shit about this? But if you do, I'll listen. You listen. When you pee, it burns, and you feel like your bladder's going to explode. It's quite painful. So if I don't see myself today, forgive me. I'm here. I'm going to do my best to make the show good and be funny and happy. But, you know,
So
it hurts.
Backpack John says pomegranate juice. What's up, Backpack John?
You know,
Awesome.
all you women out there that get, like, women get this infection. You know, if a woman wears tight dungarees and her panties go up her clit out, you know, she can get a urinary tract infection. That's what a friend of mine said. She said she used to wear skin tight jeans. Her panties would go up her clitoris, and she would get infections all the time. So the doctor said, pull your panties out of your snatch and wear baggy dungarees. She wore skirt with no panties. And then she got crabs. So what can you do?
So for anybody looking for like a good movie, we actually watched a cool movie the other night. It's a like a family drama. It's a gay movie. Gay.
It was not a gay movie.
It was about a transgender
Do not do
daughter.
That. It was about a person who was born a woman who wanted to be a man. It's not a gay movie. It's not about.
It was very good. It was called
not
Three
about
Generations.
Fairies and gay bars.
No, it's not like that. No, it was a family.
Drag queens and screaming.
It was a great movie. It was a heavy duty drama. It was called Three Generations with Susan Sarandon as the grandmother and
doing a brilliant job with her subtle humor. I love Susan Sarandon when she comes out with those one-liners and she delivers them so beautifully.
And who's the British actress? Not Nicole Kidman, but the other one, because there's only two famous ones.
Fisher.
No.
Wasn't Fisher in it?
No. The one who's married to Liam. Oh gosh darn it! Now I have to look it up and see if I can find it.
She was in the movie? No.
Three Generations. I'm going to look it up.
The one that played the mother I forgot. It was good.
No, here, I got it. Okay, so the movie starred Susan Sarandon, Elle Fanning, and Naomi Watts. And it was a great, great movie, and it's on either Netflix or Amazon Prime. I forgot because we got both of them. But you guys should watch it. It's a great movie, and
it's
I
a
recommend
sensitive
it.
movie with a subtle message.
And then we saw an old movie that's older with Pierce Brosnan and
Diane Ladd.
No, not Diane Ladd. Pierce Brosnan and Julianne Moore, where they play opposing divorce attorneys, and I don't even know the name of it, but it was on Amazon Prime, and it was very funny. We enjoyed it a lot.
Then we watched the one with Diane Ladd.
Yeah,
about Paris.
Paris Can Wait. That one wasn't that good.
No. Well, only because the guy that she's trying to make her is creepy looking. She should have got a handsome guy. Then we would have been all in favor of her banging him. She doesn't bang him anyway. She stays true to her husband. She's going to Paris from south of France, from Cannes, and her husband's associate is driving her. Well, he finds every excuse to stop everywhere, sleep over, whatever. He's trying to, do her. And of course, she gets a little tempted, which is hard to believe. She's so beautiful. Why she would want to ball a creep like him, I never know. But he's a very famous French actor. He's old and fat with good feet. Really not attractive. I wouldn't call him if he was gay. So, no. Bad casting.
We've been watching a lot of good stuff, though.
But Diane is so wonderful in everything she does and so beautiful, and I adore her. And I'll watch her in anything she does. I don't care what it is.
And anybody who hasn't seen the movie where she goes and buys a house in Italy is like the best movie.
Under the
Tuscan Sun. You guys have to see it. It's fabulous.
She is just one of the most charismatic actresses. She's got a smile on her, and the way she twists and nods her head. Every man wants to fall in love with her. She's adorable. I love Diane. I would love one day to meet her because I really like her. I would love more to interview her, but you never know. She may. A word gets out. Our show gets around. I had no idea. People tell me you have, people from Turner Classic Movies, they tune into our show and they pick up stuff. I didn't know that. I mean, PCM is watching us. Wow. We watch them. But you'd be surprised. I've said things on this show that I've seen, what's his name say? The guy with the glasses. Miscast. I mean, they get really pick the winner. He's supposed to replace Osborne. Never happened.
I forgot his name. Robert something.
No, his father.
Mankiewicz. Ben Mankiewicz.
Yeah, his grandfather was a producer. I mean, he was so fathered into that job. I mean, if he didn't have that background,
Nepotism, 100%.
yeah, if he didn't have that job, he'd be out, digging coal mines. But anyway, I like the other guy. He's terrific. He should have taken it over.
Noir Alley.
Noir Alley. What's his name? It's fabulous.
He's a good one, though.
He
Anyway.
makes the show pop.
We've been watching, though, a lot of cool stuff.
Right, that's all you do. You sit home and you watch. What can you do? You can't go out. We're having trouble getting the shot in Palm Springs. It's all over the valley. It's in the lower economy area. People, a lot of Hispanic areas, they've got the shot, but we don't have it. So I said to Jimmy, that's because where we live, it's basically white Republican wealthy. Maybe they want to.
But there's like no Republicans here.
Oh, yes, there are. There's plenty of Republicans. They're just closet Republicans. Maybe they just want to kill off the few Republicans to the left.
That's funny.
I don't know. I make stupid remarks. Anyway, it's just strange.
So Miss Kim says their movie tonight they're going to watch is Being There with Peter Sellers. Is that a good movie?
You have to be a fan of Peter Sellers. Really enjoy the film. Shirley MacLaine is outstanding in it. She plays the wealthy woman. He's the butler. It's an interesting story, but it has, as I said, you have to be a Peter Sellers fan. Peter Sellers is an actor that eats up the scenery. Whenever Peter Sellers is on camera, you don't see anybody else but Peter Sellers. He's got all the mannerisms, the movements. He acts. He's an animated actor. Yes, watch it. You'll enjoy it. It's a one Academy Award.
Also, part two of the first season of Studio City with Sean Kanan is out on Amazon Prime now, you guys.
Which
so
we're going to watch tonight.
we're going to start watching it. It just came out about a week ago, and so you can watch the next season of season 2 with Sean Kanan. I know a lot of people who watch the show are fans of his because he's been on the show so many times.
Well,
so Lady Lakes in the chat room.
He's a very close dear friend of ours. I mean, we see Sean in the show socially a lot. In fact, they may be coming here for dinner next week. But Sean is really a brilliant everything. Everything he does is brilliant. Brilliant actor, brilliant producer. And Michelle is writing, and I understand now Michelle is editing. So they really are a team that's putting out a terrific show. You've got to watch Studio City.
Yes, it's going to be good. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it too. So I'm looking
And I
forward
think
to
there's
it.
a chance I may be in it. Not yet. Can't talk about it, but we're talking about it.
There you go.
So there.
Keep talking.
I can't talk. I'm exhausted.
I know you
I
are.
didn't sleep all night. I have a urinal, the plastic urinal they give you in the hospital, because to walk from my bed to the toilet is a very far walk, and I trip over dogs. All
Three of them.
They all sleep on the floor. So my little girl Brandy, every night when I go to the bathroom, I hit her without realizing it, and she yelps, "Oh, I feel so bad." Then I have to lay on the floor, and make out with her for an hour, and rub her, because I feel terrible. So I have a urinal, and I keep it on my desk. And last night, no lie, every 10 or 20 minutes, I had to get up and urinate.
18 times.
Nothing came out. Dribble. It was painful.
They want to see your watch.
You don't care about my dick? All right.
Okay, show them your watch, and then we're going to bring our guest on.
Nobody cares that I can't pay. See, selfish people. They don't want to know about my watch. My wife is a vintage Armani, and it's a black face with stainless steel. You see it? Here, let me show you. It's my watch. Where's my wrist? Anyway, it's a very handsome watch. It's thin, and I like it, and it looks good with certain clothes you wear.
Goddess just joined us too. Hey, Goddess, and I don't think that Dawn is in the chat room. She usually likes, but Teresa Saban wanted to see it. So anyway, you guys, now we're going to bring on our guest of the hour. Hello, Jeff. Say something. Let's make sure we can hear you.
How you doing? Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Great.
Good, great.
Look at that
Thanks for
setup.
having me. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. So now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Actually, I'm going to start that all over again. So when I send that to Comcast, I blew that one. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Actor, pop singer, songwriter, producer, Grammy nominee Jeff Timmons. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, Jimmy and Ron, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I've been watching the show. I came in a little early to make sure my sound was okay, and I heard all about the urinary tract infections, the movie, and all that stuff.
I'm going to ask you, did you ever have a urinary tract infection?
Oddly, I get them all the time. I'm on like this Atkins keto diet, and with that, I get these UTIs. But there's a brand called AZO, which is like a cranberry
He has
lozenge.
I take that.
He just got it the other day. They
I
told him to
got,
get it.
does it work?
It knocks it right out. It'll be gone in 2 days. You'll be good.
I mean, do you pee like 35 times a night? And
Yeah, it's not to get too graphic with the whole thing, but yeah, I mean, those are rough. It hurts your kidneys in the back and all that stuff. So
and your bladder.
Yeah.
Talking about urinating and normal functions that humans have. I once did an interview. Somebody interviewed me, and they said about Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe because I knew all about that. And I said to the guy, I said, listen, Marilyn Monroe was not a goddess. She peed and shit just like everybody else. Nobody wants to believe that. Nobody can picture Marilyn Monroe sitting on the toilet bowl having a diarrhea attack.
well, you have
Just
this.
don't-
There's a lot of famous imagery about her, but that's not one of them
That's
that
not
pops in your mind.
It's really funny how stupid people, mostly some stupid gay guys that impersonate her, they say, she never did those things.
It's
I
so
said, "No,
funny.
she came from another planet. Didn't do those things.
So Ron, just so you know, because I know that you and I have spoken before and know a little bit about each other, but Ron used to host a show called Set the Record Straight, and he was literally friends with all the classic. Even though he looks like he's 60, he's actually 80.
Yeah.
And so he looks older. So he was friends with he not Marilyn Monroe, but Jane Russell and Ab
Best
Hunter
friend.
and all the
Best-
classic movie guys.
very,
He's
very
interviewed him and was friends with
dear,
everybody.
dear friends of mine. So I got all the inside dirt on all the stars. And of course, Jane Russell made a movie with Marilyn Monroe. And, I used to have pee breaks. Jane and Marilyn would say, come on, let's go to the ladies' room. They were dancing for 12 hours a day, learning the routine, and they pee a lot. But people don't want to understand that. So now they're starting in film. What's her name? The redhead we just saw the other night.
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore is in a movie where she's sitting on a.
Oh yeah, we saw him. They actually show her.
She looks like she's taking a dump, and then she gets toilet paper, wipes her ass, and then looks at the toilet paper and throws it in the toilet bowl. I said, now we have really arrived at disgusting society. I mean, Julianne Moore wiping her ass in a movie is not what I'm excited about seeing. Meanwhile, you're very cute. You got a husband or a wife? What are you?
That's a wife.
You have a
I have a
wife?
wife. Yeah, very, very happily married. So yeah,
Yes,
Five kids according to Wikipedia.
You have
That's
5
right.
kids?
5 kids. I'm remarried, so I have 2 kids from a previous marriage. In fact, my oldest daughter turns 22 today. Happy birthday!
Oh, happy
Alyssa.
birthday!
Wait,
Yeah.
how do you have a 22-year-old? You look 20.
I was 12 when we first got started. No, I'm trying to take tips out of your aging book. I would have never guessed you're in your 80s. There's no way, because I tuned in and, like I said, I heard you talking about all these classic stars, and I'm like you're either a student of the business or you may be older than what you appear. Just trying to stay young like you, man. I'm trying to keep up with the young bucks. You have to in this business. You got to look good, right?
The secret, I just wrote it on my Facebook page this morning, is when somebody said to me, how do you keep so young? I said, I never admit to myself that I'm old. I delay aging because I don't like it and I don't want it. I absolutely cause my body not, and this is not Botox, all that shit in my face. This is natural. This is me. And my hair's real. It's not a toupee. So I believe that you can destroy your body. You can also build your body. It's up to your brain. Don't forget, the brain controls everything.
You should see him. He's
And he looks
without
wonderful.
a shirt. He's got like some mad body. Like all over.
I
You
know.
Google him on the internet,
He-
Jeff Timmons, you
listen,
guys. And he's not. And he's only 3 years younger than me.
Oh, Jimmy, you got to do something. Jimmy,
Hey, I lost 34. I
Jimmy,
mean,
take,
I'm working
take,
on it.
take tips from me.
I think he's. Is your age public knowledge?
Oh yeah. I mean, look.
You're
I mean,
how old are you? 53.
no. Come on, man. Close. I'm 47. 47.
Wikipedia or something says you're 53 because I
No.
read that someplace.
And I
So
would- and I
okay,
would-
47. So that's 10 years
And I
different.
would
So
have,
that's okay.
and I would have said 33 or 34.
There you
Well,
go.
very-
I'll take it. I'll take it at this point for sure.
Now listen, tip. Be wise. Listen to Ron. Pretend that you're separated from your wife. Never admit you're married because you lose all the female horny.
No, he
girls.
doesn't. The fucking chat room is filled with people.
If they thought he was single and available,
They all know.
there would be 10 times the amount of.
No way.
And how many women
I have
say?
to-
Wait, how many women say? what a shame he's married.
Now his wife is super gorgeous.
I'm sure
I
she is.
googled everything
you.
about you.
Thanks, man.
His wife is gorgeous, and he credits his wife all over the internet with helping propel his career after the whole 98 Degrees thing that takes hiatuses. His wife has propelled him. He's done movies. He's produced big TV shows. We're going to talk about all that in a minute. But
Yeah, but
before we do that,
since I've announced being married to you for 9 years, I've lost a hell of a lot of gay guys.
oh well, what am I supposed to do? I can't help it.
My gay dates.
So hold on. I have a chat room literally filled with people. So first say hi to the chat room in general.
What's up, chat room? I'm glad you made it. We tried to post all over the place so we could get some people in there. We're lucky to have fans, so we appreciate you being here today.
And then, so there's a lady who's a very good friend of mine. She's a music promoter, and she's one of the best ones on the planet. Her name's Cindy Diadamo, but she goes by Lady Lake Music. And she never gets excited about a guest hardly, except for Sean Kanan. She likes Sean Kanan, and she met him on our Christmas show. And you, and she's like, you're my favorite boy band, and it's 98 Degrees is her favorite boy band. She thinks you're like great. So just say hi to Cindy for me, so that way.
Hey, Cindy, I think I saw her posting some stuff.
Yeah, she posted all over the place.
Hang on. Wave is bullshit. Throw her a kiss.
There you go, Cindy.
Now, Cindy, get off the floor. Call paramedic.
She's all happy.
You guys are too kind.
She can say that you threw her a kiss. Hey, that's a biggie.
All right. So for anybody who doesn't know, you guys, so Jeff Timmons is a member of 98 Degrees, one of the biggest boy bands in the history of music. I can't say they're the biggest. I think you're probably like the fourth biggest, right? I'm going to guess.
Well, look, we're happy to be in the top 5. So yeah, I mean that's good. I mean you've got Backstreet, NSYNC, you've got some overseas.
I was thinking New Kids on the Block.
New Kids too, yeah.
And then you guys.
Yeah, but I don't know my ass from my elbow when it comes to these kid groups. I knew the name of his group.
Yes, that's because I used to listen to the music all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember shit.
Actually, I still do.
But I remember the name of his group, so it has to be.
And I listened to a lot of your solo stuff.
And the other group you mentioned, NSYNC.
Oh, NSYNC.
I love NSYNC. Your group, I love your group, and NSYNC. I know you.
All great guys. I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's quite a compliment. So
it's true because I don't like that kind of music.
But here's the difference, you guys, and this is something I didn't know. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, because I could, I go googling for stuff on the internet, and half the shit's fake.
Right.
I read that you're the founder, you kind of brought everybody together, but you guys formed yourself. It wasn't like NSYNC and Backstreet where somebody else put them together. You guys formed yourself and then went out and hustled and got your own record deals and all that kind of stuff, which makes you guys totally different than all the other boy groups because you did it on your own.
Well, thanks for looking that up. We do feel like we're a little bit different. We started the group in Ohio. I started the group in Ohio with some other guys, went to LA. There was no YouTube or Spotify or any of these, streaming services available so you could promote yourself. So you had to go to LA, or you had to go to New York or Nashville or, and then eventually Atlanta and then some other spots. But we went to LA. Those guys quit. And I met a guy that knew Nick, who was also from Ohio, and he came out, brought his brother, his best friend, Justin. And yeah, we sang backstage. We dropped the hat. We sang backstage. And we actually got discovered. We idolized Boyz II Men. We wanted to be signed to Motown like Boyz II Men. We really kind of created our sound and molded it, mostly in the tradition of Boyz II Men and a bunch of doo-wop groups and some other vocal groups, and sung backstage at a Boyz II Men concert and got discovered there. And then we ended up being label mates with them. And then subsequently years later, we toured with them. So it was like really a dream coming into fruition for us. It was amazing.
How cool was that? See, I didn't know that. I didn't read that part.
What's your biggest hit?
You know what? I think that the one that sold the most records for us was probably The Hardest Thing when that was out. But the biggest one that's transcended throughout the years is The Wedding Song I Do. Like that's a huge international hit, and I think that would
everybody uses it for their wedding when they get married.
Well, it's not Here Comes the Bride anymore.
No. I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I think that I used to watch all the. Were you on Dancing with the Stars? Everybody else has been on, right? Were you on it?
Two of the 4 members, Nick and Drew, have been on. I have not been on yet, so I'm the most challenged dancing wise. But I'd accept the invitation if it came my way for sure.
I know we should try and get that going though for you, just because I think it would be like a lot of fun. I mean, you've done so many like cool things, and so as 98 Degrees, I want to first of all just say congratulations because I've always enjoyed the music. When I found out the whole thing about how you put it all together, while I was researching you to come on here, I was like, oh my God. So like they really, I mean, that's quite a big accomplishment because everybody else was put together, you know, and so
And as far as your dancing and you can't dance, there's a secret to that. You wear a jock strap, nothing else. Dance. No one is going to be looking at your moves.
Well, we've sort of been down that road too, but you know, that's a whole other story.
A nice tight jock strap, nobody will notice you can't dance.
Well, I hope they're not in shock that they don't even look at me at all if that's the case.
Yeah.
But
you're never going to have to worry
You're
about
so
that.
good looking, and Jimmy said you have a great body. Hey, listen over here, we're gay, so we know, man. I mean, I'm allowed to flirt with you. Frig you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
I have plenty of soft lights. I got the ring light, you know, all the things that you need to do this stuff out of your house. During COVID, I made sure I have that Oprah lighting that
Right.
all my features are dulled out and I look amazing in this thing. But no, I appreciate the compliments though, man.
You're so full of shit. You're a bullshit artist. you look great.
He doesn't need anything. So you guys, here's some things on 98 Degrees, and this, I don't even know if this is all correct either, but they sold over 10 million records worldwide. They had 8 top 40 singles, and Jeff came out with a solo album, Whisper That Way, that has two really, really good songs, which I forgot the name. The whole album is good, but 2 of them are like remarkably great. And then the first time I talked to you on the phone, you were like hosting, singer and MC for the Chippendales thing. And
That's
I
right.
guess like the Chippendales thing where you weren't stripping, but you were like the MC for the strippers.
And I knew nothing about this.
And then you turned. I guess they didn't want to do it the way you wanted to do it, so you created your own show, Men of the Strip Review.
That's right.
Which became a docu-soap, which is available,
God.
and it's Magic Mike with elements of Sex in the City. So basically, you hosted your own male strip review in Las Vegas.
You snake, you.
Well, look, you know,
At the
I try.
Tropicana.
Well, no, look. So what I wanted to do was do, you know, take the Chippendales, who doesn't need my help. I mean, that's an extraordinarily successful, legendary brand. But what I wanted to do, and this was pre-Magic Mike, was create a more modern, hipper, you know, more of a show type of. That show is really great, but I wanted to do something a little younger and make it more singing, more like a boy band that rips their shirts off. And so that's what we did. We created Men of the Strip, and we took that on a 42 city tour. And Jimmy is exactly right. It turned into a docu movie on the E Network, and then you know, that became a successful venture. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a really interesting experience for me.
All the women in the chat room are saying, "Now we're talking."
There you go.
One of the ladies in the chat room said, "Could you hang on a minute? Her battery's dying." So she's got to put new batteries in her vibrator.
No, I love it.
But wait a minute, I knew nothing about your stripping. So somehow I came out in my brain. But so you stripped, so you know that.
No, he didn't strip.
Well, dancing is not necessary.
But you had to take your shirt off, didn't you?
I did take my shirt off. You know, look, that's part of what they do. And when you're a celebrity guest with Chippendales, they have you take your shirt off. But I used to, you know, look, these guys are huge. I like to pride myself in staying in shape, but these guys are 20 years younger than I am. They're about, you know, a foot taller than I am and about 150 more pounds than I am. And they're shredded. So I literally rip my shirt off and bolt for the side before people could actually compare and contrast.
Wait, hang on. 1 foot higher.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a few inches. That might count. That'll, like 6 more inches counts more than 1 foot higher.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
So let's talk about, because you've done so many cool things. So I actually watched the show that you were on. I guess the show didn't really make it. It was called Mission Man Band, because I knew Rich Cronin, I knew Chris Kirkpatrick, and Brian Abrams through the record label that I used to work with. I knew him. I don't really know him, but I watched the show. I thought the show was great. I used to be a celebrity clothing designer, and I had a clothing store in Fort Lauderdale in this little shopping center. It was a really cool, and across the street from me, there was all stores, but there was apartments on top. And there was like the hottest girl ever who lived there, and she was a bartender at the hottest nightclubs in South Beach. And so I don't know how she did it. Like when NSYNC was in town, Backstreet was in town, O-Town was in town. They would all be at her apartment. So you would see them all, and you could meet them.
You don't know how.
Well, I don't think she was a hooker.
You don't know why they were there.
But they were there. No, they were there because she was literally one of the most beautiful girls you'd ever seen.
Only a gay guy would not know.
No, so I got to meet. So I actually have gotten to meet like a lot of the cool boy bands, and since that was always my favorite thing, it was always like a big thrill for me.
She was into chicken. She was
And,
banging all the kids.
No, she was young. She was young too, but they used to all hang out there, so I got to meet them all. So I watched the show because I had met all the
If you were
people in the
straight,
show
you'd be
except for
hanging
you.
out there too.
And I was there anyway. It was across the street from my store.
You were the token fairy.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Believe me, one reason boy bands are so popular is because they have a lot of fairy fans.
Fans, of course.
Who doesn't like
Well,
all of them?
I'm too old to know about boy bands because when these kids come, I mean, I have children older than me. So,
So I want to go back to that. So
we didn't have boy bands. We had things called Frank Sinatra, Johnny
Yeah,
Mathis.
the Rat Pack. I mean, that's what you're talking about, right? It's a whole different ball game there.
We had soloists who had wonderful style. Johnny Mathis, the greatest singer ever
Amazing.
in the world. No one ever will sing better than Johnny Mathis, as far as I'm concerned.
He has the best.
Sinatra-
Johnny Mathis has the best version of "Oh Holy Night" I've ever heard in my life.
Great.
He has an incredible rendition of that.
Johnny has tubes in his throat that just hit every note. Johnny is amazing.
Wait, I
And I
want to
know
go back.
him. I've met him several times, and I love him. He's
My
a
mom
shit-
is a big fan of Johnny Mathis. I am, but my mom was like, that's how I learned about him with the LPs. We had the albums and I would listen to his records, so.
Well, that's my generation, but I met Johnny. He's a very shy, sweet guy, very unintrusive, lovely man. Lovely.
But go back though. So whatever happened with Mission Man Band? Did you guys ever release any music, or it was just a reality show that ended and nothing came out of it?
Well, look, the premise, it took them a long time to get us all on there because we had figured they're going to put us on there and they're going to exploit us and try to make us look like fools. But eventually, we said, hey, we all talked to each other. We were going to be like, look, let's just do it. At that time, Rich was sick and had been recovering from that. And we thought he really wanted to do it. And we thought it'd be a good opportunity. And we went and checked it out. And of course, what did they want to do? They wanted to make us look like fools, make us look bad. And in the midst of that, we worked with this amazing multi-Grammy award-winning producer, Brian Michael Cox, who made 3 good records with us. And then, we had the opportunity to go ahead and go forward with it, but we thought that the show was a bad launching point for something like that. So we didn't see it would be a great idea. And I don't think that,
So hang on a second. Why would they want to destroy you? Why would they want to do that?
Because that's what reality shows do.
That's what and especially then when it was really sort of in the emergence of this salacious reality show where it's make everybody look like fools, make them look exploit the yeah. And we assumed that was going to happen. And we were really resistant during the production. So, some of the things that they wanted to do, which might have made good TV, we didn't do. And the things we wanted to do, like the parties that went on after the filming and all the fun stuff that went on after the filming, they didn't want to do. And if we would have done it the right way, it would have been a very successful venture, but it had nothing to do with the lack of having really, really good music that was viable and we could have put out. But the marketing launch of it, we were dead before we could even come out. So, but nonetheless, was one of the best experiences of my life. I had been resistant about unscripted and reality TV before then. And then after that, it took me way out of my comfort zone and taught me a lot about myself. And I wouldn't have traded. And I made magnificent lifelong friends with Rich and Brian and Chris and the people that were some of the people that were producing the show. And so I wouldn't have traded the experience, although it wasn't a commercial success for me personally. It was a successful part of my life.
I think it would have been. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like the way that they made some of you guys look either.
If it were I would say the public on the camera, go fuck yourself. And I would have walked off. Nobody's making it. I'll make a jerk of myself, but don't you make a jerk.
Ron, that's exactly what we were doing. We were looking, when they were trying to put us on Front Street, we would look at them and be like, screw you or fuck you. And we were in the producer's face and the camera. And we thought about, that stuff would have made good TV. Why don't you break the third wall and show that our responses? Because you know what? At the end of the day, we all had huge fan bases, and our fans didn't want to see us in those vulnerable positions. So they would have been more engaged with the more realistic version of what was supposed to be a reality show, we thought. But leave it to the experts. They're the producers, and they know what they're doing. But it didn't work. But lifelong friends with those guys, great experience.
I think that's terrific. And just so everybody knows, hold on. So you guys, when they did do the show, the people that were on the show were Brian Abrams. You guys, he was from Color Me Bad. Rich Cronin was the lead singer of LFO. Unfortunately, he passed, but he was such a talent and such a nice guy. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. And then you had Jeff So it could have been a super boy band group, and it would have been very cool. Go ahead.
How many? Please. Made money. That's all that matters. Sometimes you got to eat shit to make money. Not that kind of stuff. I would never do that again if I were you, because you work so hard to build who you are, and then these morons want to make you a jerk.
And look, we didn't do it for the money. If you know anything about unscripted series, the first season,
don't make any money.
We don't make any money. So we went out there for the we really went out there for the opportunity. We were all promised different things with regards to what they would do for us, even if it wasn't a group for on our solo efforts. Of course, they didn't live up to any of their agreements or their promises. And it, again, was a lesson, not only in personal discomfort, but business as well. And, it didn't turn out to be a huge thing. And we did not make a ton of money on that project at all. But again, have invaluable lessons and invaluable relationships as a result.
I love it.
A few years back, somebody offered me a part in a reality show. And then they gave me the byline. I said, you're out of your fucking minds. I'm not doing this. Are you crazy?
Yeah, because they don't.
Yeah. They wanted me to be some outrageous flippant faggot, like a real demented queen, screamy and effeminate and weird and dirty. Get out of here. Go down the village. There's a million guys like that in every corner. You don't have to get me to do that. And I said,
for the most part, they never go for you for what type of person you are. They have a profile that fits a character description, and then they want to exponentially exploit that. So, that's what they think is good TV. And folks at home, for the most part, there's that whole gap in there that enjoys that sort of salacious, television. So.
Actually, back when MTV was really big, because I lived in South Florida for almost 50 years, and I made it to the final 3 of like a reality show to be one of the cast members, and then I found out they pay you $100 a day, and I was just like, yeah, like how am I gonna
When were you going to be on a reality show? When did this fantasy come about?
It wasn't a fantasy.
You made this up.
I did not. Well, I don't tell you a lot of things. You don't look on any of my things. I can't help it.
I get bored.
Doesn't
Wait
matter.
a second. You guys have been together 10 years, and
Yeah.
I think I might be able to count. I should maybe be your counselor, and we can learn more about all of it.
I used to go. I had a great agent when I lived in Florida. I went on castings all the time.
Agent.
Of course, I had an agent. How do you get into all the movies?
You're
if you don't
making
have-
all this
I
up.
am not making it up.
You're a habitual liar.
I am not a habitual liar.
You never told me any of
I
it.
was in every movie that's ever filmed in South Florida.
Oh,
Most
you're
of
so
them,
full of shit now. I'm really gonna
no, I was. And most
Every
of them, I'm an
movie,
actor.
every movie.
That while I lived there, every movie that
You
was
were
in
not.
there.
You were not in the film that we were watching and shoot in Miami with Sylvester Stallone.
I wasn't in that one, but I wasn't acting.
So
doing
there you
acting.
are.
Okay.
He wasn't in every.
I know where I was
Fine.
acting in the area in the time that I was acting when I lived in Florida.
He made
booked my
he
first
made
11.
3 movies.
I did not.
One, he's running through the woods and he falls.
Yeah,
on
that's a
his
good
face,
one. So what?
And you don't even know it's him.
Yes, you do. No, it's me, and it was in theatrical. It had
There
a
was no
theatrical release.
close-up. It was a long shot.
No, it wasn't. It shows me getting killed, and I'm laying there, and they're squeezing my head and killing me.
What's the name of this movie? I gotta check this one out.
Incubus. It's called The Incubus. It's a
Incubus. All right,
terrible movie.
A real
I've
piece
got to
of
see
shit.
it.
All the
It was
movies.
a
Oh
real
no! All the
dud.
movies that I have speaking line roles and stuff in, they all suck. Because I'm not a good actor, but I'm a good promoter, so people put me in things to promote them. Not because I can actually act, but I would have been good in a reality show. But for $100 a day, I would have had to pay somebody to work in my clothing store, to cover it, and it would have cost me more, just to be on some stupid show. It wasn't worth it.
Well,
No
they
question.
were offering me more than 100, but they wanted me to be somebody entirely different. And I said, "This is not a reality show. You want me to act? You want me to be this flamboyant, way out, sarcastically funny, crazy gay guy?" And I thought to myself, "Is that what they think of me? Maybe that's their opinion of me." And it was acting my true self. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Too, say hi to Eileen Shapiro. I don't know if you'll remember Eileen Shapiro. I think you were on the cover of Get Out magazine one time, which is a big gay magazine in New York. She's my business partner. We're publicists, and we have a business together. And she's in the chat room.
She's great.
telling everybody
Eileen, what's up? I appreciate the coverage back in the day. I sincerely remember you and thank you for that.
How could you forget her and her jugs? I mean, come on. She's Jug City.
Okay, so then you started you did a movie, and this is the next thing because I actually I'm a big horror movie fan. Now I haven't seen this movie. I want to know if you're going to tell me if it's okay or if it's terrible. But you're in a movie called Dead Seven, and the thing that's so cool about this movie is that this movie stars all the famous boy band people. You guys. So it's called Dead Seven. I think it was written by Nick Carter. I saw on IMDb. In the movie is Nick Carter, Joey Fatone, is from NSYNC. AJ McLean's from the Backstreet Boys. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. Howie Doro from Backstreet Boys. Eric Estrada from
Motown.
O-Town.
Motown.
I always forget that. I don't know why. Jacob Underwood's from O-Town. Dan
Eric
Miller's
Estrada was a singer.
different Eric Estrada. Dan Miller from O-Town. Tommy McCarthy, who was in Ricky Rebels.
No authority.
Band. No authority.
Yep.
Ricky Rebel's a good friend of ours. So
I love Ricky.
It also has.
Wait. Ricky and I peed together. Talking about peeing, we were in a ghost hunt with the famous KC Cardozola, and we were in a haunted, horrible old hospital that was all dismantled and full of rats and stuff.
It was a psychiatric hospital, and we climbed through the window to do a ghost hunt.
Ricky. So the two of us are standing there peeing, and they're filming.
It was funny. So also, you guys, John Cicada is in it, and Frenchie Davis from American Idol is in it, and a whole bunch of people, and it's gunslingers ridding a small town of a zombie plague. So, number one, did you have fun doing it? And number two, is it an okay movie? Like, it
was one of the best experiences of my life. Like, we filmed in Butte, Montana. You know, we're all used to staying in these luxurious hotels. I think we stayed in, like a no-tell motel type of place. You know, there was nothing to do in the town except go to like a local bar that had like some slot machines and some gambling in there. And, all we did was sit around and drink and tell jokes and screw off. And look, they gave us the script beforehand, and, all of us memorized our lines. And then when we got there, they're like, forget all those lines. and literally like the day of, they give you the new, what they call, Jimmy, this sides your lines. And then as we're on the set, the director would come up and just have you take your script out of your back pocket and be like, change this, do this. and for us, we're used to being super prepared. So that was another thing. You're like, oh man, and trying to be perfect. He's like, don't try to be perfect. What does this scene mean? Don't worry, we're going to figure it out later. And so it really just put together like that. It does have some remnants of Nick's scripts, and he did write the premise of the show and the original script, but it's really an act of improv. And will I say it's good? No. Will I say it's entertaining? Absolutely. It was a really great experience. I mean, some of those guys, AJ was really good. Nick was really good. Joey Fatone was really good in it. And look, we had so much fun. We're like, we need to do this again. What's the next premise going to be? Because everybody, it's called Dead 7 for a reason, right? We all die. So, we obviously can't make a sequel, but we're like, how can we, what other shows can we do? Can we do a mob show? What other premise can we have to do this again? But it was one of the best experiences ever. So,
if you guys do another one, like I want to help produce it, I'll go out and help find money for it because I would love to do that. And it's so funny because Nick isn't really that bad an actor, and Ron's daughter was in a movie with him. That movie that he did with the Headless Horseman. I forgot the name of that movie. I forgot. But anyway, Ron's daughter is one of the actresses in that movie.
Well, we've been talking about it for 3 or 4 years now. Like, we all want to do it again. It's about, finding the right premise. And of course you need the money to do it. But, I know it was an international hit with regards to sales and downloads and views and all that stuff. So
when I go on set, they say, did you memorize your lines? Of course I never did, because I can't. I don't memorize lines anymore. I say, oh yeah, sure. And when we start to shoot, I come out with the most brilliant stuff. They say, Ron, that's not the script. I said, I know, mine's better.
Yeah, sometimes it is better, right? I mean,
because when I play, usually I play a Brooklyn hood, a gangster from Brooklyn. These guys are from, California surfers. They don't know how to speak Brooklyn or be a gangster from Brooklyn. So when they write things, like a guy in Brooklyn would say, hey man, get over here. I'm going to knock your brains in. I'm going to kill you in a minute. You're right. Get over here. We're going to strike you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I say, honey bun, that ain't Brooklyn. You want me? You want me because of my accent? Well, here you go. So I rewrite everything. But I'm in crappy films sometimes good ones. But
that's great.
Kid films.
He does a lot of horror movies.
Horror movies where the kids love to chop them up and stuff.
That's really cool. I'd love to see some of these movies now that we've talked about it. I'm gonna have to go back and check.
Clown Fear. He's good in Clown Fear.
I have three movies out right now. Clown Fear is out, and the other one out. Oh. Anyway, I have 3 movies out. I forgot the title.
Big Freaking Rat is coming out.
And
then he has
another one.
And he just shot Clown Motel 3 that's coming out this summer.
Right.
No, 2, Clown Motel 2, sorry.
And I'm going to be in Clown Motel 3. We're shooting in the summer.
And how can you forget about the Incubus? So I've written down my list of binge
Yeah,
watching
It's
movies,
such a
which
bad film.
which I
such
will
a-
go do after this is over.
No, it's really not that bad. I mean,
It's a-
hey, it was
it's-
distributed in Blockbuster.
It's a
It
bad
had theatrical release. And I play Dead Man Running, so I run through the woods and then I fall. I do my own stunts. I fall on the rock and I fall down and I get up and run and then they catch me and kill me because it's all about like people who suck your soul out, or some shit.
It looked like a rhino. He looked like a rhino running through the jungle.
No, I would look great. I'm great in it. He just doesn't like it because he doesn't like. I'm really more of a producer. He's a great actor. I'm really not a great actor, but people cast me because I'm a publicist and I can get they know if they cast me, I'll get promotions.
You get the word out there, yeah.
That's right. I get the word out there. So,
I have run.
but he can
lines.
actually run. He can actually act.
I ran lines with Jimmy one time. I said, Jim, the difference between reading a line and acting a line. You gotta understand. You live a lines like you. Well, okay, I'm over here now. Come and get me, and then we can go up to the mountaintop.
We have a movie called Croker. You should watch. That's like the worst one out of all of them. It only had like a $15,000 budget. So
I was
really low.
I was brilliant in that movie. I've got to tell you, my portrayal of a wicked cop was really good. I mean, I was the best in that film.
We shot it in
Pittsburgh.
in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? And he plays a sheriff or a cop or whatever. So we go to 7-Eleven after we've been shooting to take a break, and we're buying like all this food, and he puts his food up there, and they don't fucking charge him because they think he's a real cop.
He had the uniform on.
He had the uniform and the gun and everything on, and so they didn't charge him. And then
I never pay. I have a costume. Jimmy has the credit card, so I walked on by.
And they let all his shit walk with
and
them.
I said to Jimmy, "Wow, this is really cheap living here." I said, "All that stuff for $6."
It was like $25 worth of stuff, and we got it for $6.
When Jimmy said what they did, I said, "Let's go to an Italian restaurant with the crew."
Now, where are you guys now? Are you in? I heard you talking about Palm Springs. Are you in Palm Springs?
We're in Palm Springs, yes, but we're actually broadcast out of Florida. We're broadcast. Where do you live?
I live in Vegas. So, I like that sort of environment, the desert, you have the strip down the road, but we did a show in Palm Springs last year and I fell in love with Palm Springs too. I was like, man, this is really nice here. It's a good place to be. Actually,
they shot Clown Motel 2 at the Clown Motel, which is not too far away, I think, from Vegas.
Right.
Out in the middle of the desert. You gotta love it.
Do you know Michael Damian?
I've met him a couple of times, and of course, my mom was a huge fan of the Young and the Restless, so I used to watch her video. She used to videotape the Young and the Restless, and I'd make me watch it with her. So I'm very familiar with him. Yeah, sure. He's Danny Romalotti.
Danny Romalotti, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael and Janine live in Vegas.
Yeah, they live in Vegas.
Yeah, Michael and his wife. I was talking to this dance network about doing some programming there, and they said that Michael and his wife have a big dance studio. They're really in that space, so he's having a lot of
great movies called High Strung and High Strung Free Dance, which are dance movies, and they're very, very
and you
good.
won't meet better people. I love the both.
Yeah, they're very nice.
They're good friends of ours, and I'm happy that they are because they're both sweethearts.
We actually met them way back in the day when we had our show because CBS contacted us to have Michael Damian when he came back on Young and the Restless. A little stint. They asked us if we'd have him on our show, so that's how we met him, and then we became friends. He's a very cool guy, and his movies are really, really good. You guys should be friends.
And he was a singer. He did Rock On.
Yeah. Number 1 on Billboard, 1988.
He's also Italian. His family comes from the same part of Italy. My family comes from Genoa. So when I met his mom, I was talking the Genovese dialect, which is very difficult. And she just got the biggest kick out of it. She said, "How do you know that dialect?" I said, "Because my father spoke it when he got angry." So all I could say to her were things like the takamiaja, which means the takamiaja means I'm going to pester you right up against that wall. So she started to laugh. I said, "I know all the things all the horrible stuff my father threatened me in Genovese."
So let's see. So you've also produced the Discovery Science TV series Droned. It was distributed in 94 countries. Are you doing a lot more producing?
Yeah, a lot of
more TV shows.
A lot of that stuff. I'm working on a really cool documentary that's coming out pretty soon. I can't really talk about it yet, but that one's really interesting with a really talented guy. Look, I partner with really talented people. I like ideas and meet people and connect, but I let the experts do it. This guy's been great. He won a couple Emmys for his work doing some documentaries for CNN. So I have that. that, a couple of other unscripted things in the works as well. And, I've been working on this tech platform that's very artist and fan friendly. I know you've heard of OnlyFans and Patreon and Cameo. This is something I've been working on for 2 years that we're about to launch, which is really engaging, where you can stream content, promote yourself all the time, do all kinds of really cool stuff. That's about to launch too. That's been taking up a lot of my time lately.
Does that have a name that you're allowed to say, or you can't say it yet?
I can't say that one yet either, because we have
Okay.
a very specific launch and very specific partners on that one. But that's going to be a game changer where you can just sit at home and monetize all your stuff.
Love
I
it.
hate this bullshit that we can't up where we're working. Years ago, they used to encourage you. If you're in a movie, they'd say, anytime you go to a party, be sure you tell the people about the movie so it spreads around by mouth, word of mouth. Now, like I'm in a film in June and I'm not allowed to discuss it. And I think that's nonsense, because I could do more pre-publicity for this film than anybody, because we have 4.5 million people watching us right now. And these people are stupid that I'm not going to talk about the movie I'm in.
It is odd because you know what? Half the time it's investors and they require a certain marketing plan and way they want to release things. And look, I don't think I have the reach that you do, but I have certain relationships like this that I can go to for stuff like that and talk about it and pepper it out there and create awareness for it. But look, everybody has their reasoning for doing things. I have a lot of respect for it. And then, look, after it launches, I'll go all over the place and talk about it. And really, I do a lot of stuff. We'll come back. And yeah, I'd love to talk about it a lot more, especially if you have 4.5 million listeners. By the way, that's incredible.
I'm not lying. Jimmy lies. I don't lie.
Oh, yeah.
And Facebook fans, we've got 5,000 each. I mean, we've got people all over the place.
No, we have more than
We
that.
were voted 2 years in a row the #1 podcast
Web show
in the world.
That's
So we're
amazing.
big.
I
So
can
we're-
see
you're-
why. It's a very entertaining and fun show, and it's
not normal,
unique.
right?
No, it's
not really
unique.
normal.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely unique.
It's real. And it'll help you. There's going to be somebody out there somewhere. We go all over the world. We're in every country in the world. How come they don't understand us in English? They don't get that. I mean, in China, they understand.
I don't know, but we're there.
We're all
I'm
over.
on Chinese. I'm even on Chinese Twitter, Weibo, or whatever.
Right.
Like, and I have
So,
thousands of followers, and I can't even write anything that anybody understands. I just make my Instagram post there.
and there
automatically.
was a time when we would have to search and get our guests. Thank God now we have them calling us to come on.
Actually, I searched for him though. I
Well-
saw him on LinkedIn, and I hadn't talked to him. I had his phone number, his old phone number, and everything in my phone. But the first time I talked to him, he was doing the stripper thing with
Yeah.
the Chippendales, and that's
Right.
when we talked. And he had new music coming out.
It's all about timing.
So wait,
Now he's in a new place, and we're going to do good for him.
we go. Absolutely.
I
love
appreciate it.
So tell me this. Okay, so I got two things. First of all, I want to make another comment. That's how big a boy band fan. I used to go to Europe and buy all the boy bands. So you also went on tour with A1 and Blue. How was that? Because I love Blue.
Those
I
guys
like
were
A1.
great. They were all great. I mean, I think Blue was a little bit more popular than A1, but it was all good. I mean, they actually asked the entire group to come, and this was us reunited, 98 Degrees reuniting before we went on the Boys to Men and New Kids tour. And I don't think any of the guys were interested in going at the time. They offered me a really good opportunity because we never broke Europe, believe it or not. We broke almost all over the rest of the planet except for Europe for some reason. And a lot of that had to do with our label getting sold. Polygram got sold to Universal, and it was Seagram's and all these parent companies. So every time we attempted to go to Europe, we never broke. So I was like, let me go to Europe, or let me go tour with these European bands. Then I'll do all the social media with them, and then I'll start getting recognized and getting some exposure where they're from in the UK. So I went there, and I love Southeast Asia. We actually broke in Canada and Southeast Asia really before the US. They embraced us, and I went there by myself, and it was honestly, the response was as if the whole group was there, and made, again, great friends with A1 and Blue. And you hear all these things and horror stories about these big groups and celebrities, but we have a great relationship with all of them. I mean, Backstreet, NSYNC, O-Town, A1, Blue, those guys are fantastic. I could ask any of those guys, All for One, those guys are great. Boys to Men, I could ask any of those guys for any favor, they'd be right there. So I had a blast. It was
love it.
amazing.
I think that's-
Wait a minute. Eileen Shapiro's dearest and most loved friend. What's his name? Aaron
Oh, not anymore.
Paul stuff.
No, don't bring up nasty things.
Do you know? I'm not bringing that. You're the nasty one. Do you know who Aaron Paul is?
Aaron Paul,
Not the actor, not the actor
Oh,
He was in the boy band that did. He's another a British boy band, and it was I forgot the name. I don't know if Eileen's still in there. I have all their albums though. They did the song for the Queen. They did a remake of.
oh, Westlife.
No, oh, I love Westlife though.
Yeah.
They're a good one. Damn, Boyzone is a good one. I know
Yeah,
all of them.
Boyzone's great.
His group was very famous.
I know, but
Is it Take That?
no, oh, that's a good one too.
We're naming
Hang
every
on.
boy band in the planet.
I know, hang on.
No, this one was a very famous.
No,
group.
not as famous as those.
No, but I knew his name of his group too. I know
911, Ant and Deck, Jimmy Ray. I'm trying to. I'm naming everybody that we met over there.
And Jimmy will pull it. When you hear it, you'll know it.
I think they dissolved before that. This.
Had some good music.
East 17.
No,
Take
it was
Five.
like a Boys in the Band title, something like that.
I forgot. Worlds Apart.
Worlds Apart.
I've never heard of that one. Ironically, out of all the ones I named, I've never heard of one. I've
You know
named
what?
every single one on the planet except
You
that.
know why? You know why? Because Worlds Apart, I was a big fan of theirs, but actually, all their hit singles were remakes of other people's songs. They didn't have like you guys have all original your songs, but like they got famous doing like
They did all the covers.
Could It Be I'm
Well,
Falling in Love.
for a while, that was what they did in Europe. So when we went
Yeah.
there, they were really encouraging us that this is how you break. Just do a remake. And at that time, the label was like, "Nah, you have strong enough singles as it is." But that's what they encouraged the bands to do. And if you can't catch a cold with your regular songs, you just keep putting out remakes in the UK. Now, everything's changed now, according to the social media we have and different things, and releasing multiple singles at once. But back then, it was do a cover. That'll get you on, Radio 1 or BBC 1 or the big stations there. Capital Radio is another one. You do a cover and it gives you instant recognition. But yeah, I can understand why they did that.
Yeah, so they did that. It was cool. So, okay, so how about solo music? You've released a bunch of singles. I know you released one with Mr. Spectacular, which
Yeah.
I listened to, and actually it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. But you got any solo music that you're working on coming out? Is there any chance that anybody's going to get to hear anything new from you?
In COVID, I always write. So I'm always writing. And look, I'll play stuff in TV shows and do a lot of stuff for production for overseas acts or emerging acts. I never really released anything for myself. So when I did the first solo album, I couldn't catch a cold. It was right after the boy bands. Nobody wanted to play them anymore. So Whisper That Way, I was just learning production. I did it out of my house, and I got signed to a jazz label, and that was only distributed at that time in bookstores, Borders Books and Music and Barnes and Noble. So, that one didn't get much exposure. And, I write songs all the time. I've written over 100 songs during COVID during this time. So I'm always in here writing, but I've never really had an intention to go out there. It's either something else came out or wasn't the proper opportunity timing wise, but I certainly have a treasure trove of music that I could, tool up and put out. It's just a matter of when the timing's right or how we're going to do it. The group's about to go do some music. So maybe
that's good.
Yeah, maybe I'll piggyback off of that and release some of this stuff. But I write every day. I'm in here every night from midnight to 6 a.m.
You should totally research why from midnight to 6 a.m.
Because I'm with my kids and my wife during that time, and it's usually Zoom calls or interviews or working on different things during the day. And then when everybody's asleep, and that's when I get to pounding away in the studio and creating on all this stuff and having fun with you.
Sleep? When do you sleep?
I usually sleep around, anywhere from 5 or 6 until about 9. So I'll sleep then, and I'll take maybe a 45-minute nap. I don't sleep that much. I wish I did.
I
wish I did, but I'm always burning the candle at both ends. So
love it.
I've been asleep for the last hour. I make believe I didn't sleep last night. I'm telling you.
I heard you saying that. What you have trouble sleeping?
No trouble peeing.
Oh, that
urgency. Every 5-6 minutes, I had to get up, and all night long. My interrupted sleep is worse than no sleep.
Yeah, no doubt.
I said to Jimmy, I don't know how I'm going to do the show today. I'm not going to be my vivacious, crazy self.
I think I haven't seen the show before, but it seems like you're pretty vivacious now. If it gets more vivacious than this, I'll have to tune in more often.
Whoever, I'll tell you, because I'm sure this show actually is going to do very well because you have a great fan base. Do you know who John Barrowman is?
No.
Yeah, he was in Doctor Who, and then he was in Torchwood. He had his own series, and now he's on Arrow. He's the bad archer or whatever, the bad guy on Arrow TV show. Anyway, and he's a singer, and he sang for the Queen of England. Anyway, so we had him on our show when we first started going video, which is about 8 years ago, and and as soon as he came on live, he had a blow up doll sitting there, and he was like French kissing the blow up doll, and that was the first thing that we saw of
The
him.
very first image of
That
the
was the
show.
very first image.
Well, he had seen our show. He knew we fool around. We have a great sense of humor, and that's why he did it. Meanwhile, he's one of the most gorgeous men in the world, most beautiful blue eyes, a handsome fella, gay guy, great, openly gay, and terrific.
We got 10 million plays.
And he lives in Palm Springs. Listen, when you come to Palm Springs performing, let us know.
I will. I'm sure we'll be back there. I know we had something else on the schedule pre-COVID, and all those dates, they haven't been canceled. They just, perpetually get moved until the vaccine's very prolific in the space and everybody feels safe and comfortable getting out there. But we have something on the books for Palm Springs. So
you guys are coming out with something. You're coming out with new music?
If you comp us, we'll be there.
No, that goes without saying. We'll take care of you for sure.
So wait, do you guys have something new coming out, or is that not? You're not allowed, because you kind of hinted to that.
Well, yeah, no, I think we're finally talking about it. We're going to get together and try to put something together. It's long overdue, and certainly we haven't taken advantage of all the things at your disposal. We had been doing things when we came back the traditional way, putting whole albums out and doing that, and times have changed. You can just put singles out, and so we're just going to make songs and put them out there and see how they do. So we're excited about the opportunity, and there's no pressure anymore, for it. We just want it to be good. We have an excitable, engaged fan base, thank God, that's still around this many years later. So we're just going to make good music and put it out, and the game plan doesn't have to be crazy like it used to.
I love it. I have actually some ideas for you. I'm going to send you an email because I don't want to talk about it.
Remember one thing, and I learned that I'm in the business 64 years, so I've learned something. What I learned is good lasts forever. Bullshit walks. I mean, if you're a hit, one hit Johnny, you got one song and wow, and nobody hears from you. No, good lasts forever. So never think of yourself as an old group. Think of yourself as a lasting group.
And I appreciate that for sure.
Don't. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth.
I know you are.
If you crap, I wouldn't have said it. I would have said, forget about it. Go get a job in the railroad or something. I've learned that. I mean, I came up with, I'd love to name drop. Marlon Brando was nothing. I was a kid trying to be in the business, and Brando stuck with it. And nobody ever thought that Brando would be anything. He was smelled, he was dirty, he was vulgar, he was crude, he was nasty, he was nuts. He was a wild guy. When he was young, Brando, people would run away from him. And good is good, and he was great. Nobody beats Brando for acting, that's for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think when we were kind of going off and deciding to take a break, the industry was changing, and we were in, our late 20s at that time. And I was like, I want to put music out. And they were like, oh, you need to go to adult contemporary. And I was still in my 20s. And I mean, it's crazy. But what has changed is technology. And what has also changed is proof of concept. You've had guys that have been gone for a long time, and you're like, wow, that song's badass. It sounds great. And it's someone that they told, go pound sand. You can't do this anymore because you're too old. Look, you're exactly right. One thing's for sure. You've seen if somebody has something good, they come out with it, and it'll stand the test of time. Doesn't matter how old you are.
I say fuck ageism. Tony Bennett still packs a house. Tony can go in any arena and get 4,000 or 5,000 people to listen to him sing. He's about 150. He's lucky he has breath to talk, let alone sing. Tony Bennett is good, and good goes forever.
And what's funny,
no such thing as age. No such thing as age.
And speaking about Palm Springs, I mean, when I was talking about, we played Palm Springs, and the venue escapes me, the casino escapes me, but he played the night before. There you go. Right? He played the night before. I was in the gym the next day, and I'm looking out there, and he's sitting in the court. I'm like, is that Tony Bennett? They're like, yeah, he played here last night. I'm like staring at him. I'm like, stop staring. But yeah, I completely get it.
You have to remember too,
he's 150.
You had all your fan base. You don't lose your fan base, and all your fan base has gotten older with you. So like the same people, and the only thing that you can do is get more people, because there's younger people who might not know who you are, and hopefully you make a splash, and the older people share it with their kids and everybody, and it becomes a whole big thing again, because I think that
also
they're loyal.
Also, what I will teach you is age gives you less anxious anxiety to do. My younger years, I used to fight, go crazy for a part. It was like my life. I don't give a shit. Parts are coming to me like left and right because you know why? I don't care. When you really put yourself out there, you make all the mistakes because you're so anxious to do it that you do any crazy shit to get known or whatever. No, I don't care.
Yeah,
Fine,
I couldn't agree with you more. We had so much competition being compared to groups like Backstreet and NSYNC that really were not only talented guys, but had a finely tuned machine and well-oiled machine behind them. And we were always kind of trying to get to where they were, and we were kind of considered in their peer group. But for us, it was always this anxiety and this anxiousness and looking over our backs and over our shoulders, going, "Wow, somebody's going to come take our spot." Well, now we're in our 40s. We know our fans are there, and what I'm trying to say is, couldn't agree with you more. And we're having more fun than ever. I'm like, why couldn't we have had this much fun the first time around? We were blessed. We had a great opportunity, but we were not really having fun ever during that.
Anxiety will destroy you. Listen, when they need an 800-year-old man that can still breathe and walk and talk, they find me. So now I've got a place in in show business, in movies. Because when they need an old bag that looks good and cooks, not so many around. You guys are bringing in a culture of music. It's been forever, and that's vintage, and that's good because it's got quality, and it's not brash and new like some of the junk that's out there. I hate the music of today.
And you haven't let yourself fall apart, so like your fans are going to look at you and see you and go like, "Oh my God, he's just a little bit older, but he's still like hot."
Listen, I watched the Four Tops or Five Satins, one of them. One of the black groups who were fabulous. And they were out there, these old guys, and they were dolled up in their sparkly tuxes, and they were carrying on and sing. You know who the Five Satins were?
Of course, they did it in the still of the night.
Exactly. In the still of the night. Anyway, they were like 90 years old each. Incredible. And they got a standing ovation.
We actually recently had Earth, Wind, and Fire, a bunch of people from Earth, Wind, and Fire on. We had chairman of the board on.
Wonderful
like all kinds of great, super great people.
People from my time.
I love it. So we only have about 3 minutes. So first of all, you guys, Jeff Timmons, you can follow him on Twitter. He's at Jeff Timmons. What are you on Instagram? Are you also Jeff Timmons?
Yep, at Jeff Timmons on both of those. Yep.
Yeah, it's on his picture there. Okay, he's at Jeff Timmons everywhere, you guys. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. He's going to be making a new movie soon, and I'm going to produce it. So let's just get going with that.
Let's do it.
He's also. You guys should go see Dead Seven. I'm going to watch it now. I wanted to talk with him and see if it was any good or not. And even if it's not any good, just because you like the people in it, you're going to like it.
I didn't say it was good. I said it was entertaining.
I said if you like, you know what? Lance Henriksen is like one of my favorite actors, and I'm friendly with him. I've met him several times, and he even told me I told him this movie you did, this Bigfoot movie. I was like, what a piece of shit, dude! It was like a really bad movie, and he was like, yeah, but I got to make my alimony payments, and so I had to do it. But I like it anyway, just because he's in it, which was my point. People who like you and all the boy band members and stuff, they're gonna like it, whether it's any good or not, because all you guys are in it, and it gives them an opportunity to see you in action.
And for me, when I see celebrities that I know over the 100 years that are in the film, I get excited. Like I say, oh my God, look, so and so, she's 85 and she's got a job, and I love that. And the movie stinks; it's a horrible movie. But she's working, or he's working. That excites me because vintage anything is wonderful. In Europe, vintage is respected and revered. In America, vintage is called old, throw it out, get rid of it. New. Americans have got to learn that vintage wine is better than yesterday's wine.
I love the point, for sure. I mean, and it's not just in Europe; it's in Southeast Asian culture, even Canada. Kind of perceives age a little bit different than the U.S. Hopefully, the U.S. isn't so quick to throw stuff out and be more interested in kind of following and sort of embracing age a little bit more.
We're a disposable people. Everything we own only lasts 2 years or 3 years, and you don't fix it. You throw it out and buy another one.
I know, like I lost all my cassettes that I had all my boy band music on. I had to rebuy it all on CDs, and now I don't have a CD player, so then I had to re-download all of it to my iTunes library. You guys should get paid for all of those, but you probably don't.
Probably not.
Yes. But anyway, so you guys, this is Jeff Timmons. Jeff, we want to thank you so much for coming on, taking time. Best of luck. Congratulations on all your success.
So, Jimmy,
On all your success.
I thought you had a crush on him.
Yeah. He's not,
I
he's
think-
not old enough. When
I
he's
think-
like 75. I'll
Like,
like
I
him.
look 75. You fuck.
Please,
Are you saying you only like
anytime you
old
have anything
men?
to promote, I am going to send you an email. I got some something you guys might like.
And
Can't
Jeff,
wait to see it.
looking forward to meeting you when you perform here.
Ron, it's been a joy. Congrats on all your
Good.
success, not just
Thank
on,
you.
on
And
this
yours
show,
too.
everything
and
else.
Yours also.
All
You're
right.
a very sweet, nice guy.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. I sincerely appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
You're a regular,
Bye.
regular
Bye.
Joe.
All right, everybody. Hope
What
you
a
guys
nice
enjoyed
guy.
that. What a cool guy.
What a night. He's a regular Joe. See, these are the people I like. You could fool around and talk about urinate. I mean, that's what I like. I don't like these pieces of shit that come on with their tight asses in there. Oh, excuse me, but I don't discuss that. I don't think, oh, so I'm cursing like crazy today.
That's okay. So Goddess joined us in the chat room. Hello, Goddess is in the chat room. Grant joined us in. Oh, she was there before, I think. Dave Hughes joined us. So Dave Hughes has joined us.
No girls today, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, no girls. So you guys, you can listen to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell on W4CY Radio, our home station. You can also hear us on K4HD Radio in LA, Jackalope Radio in St. Louis. We're on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Audio Boom, Podomatic, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spreaker, Apple TV, Podbean, Spotify, and Pandora. If you want to watch the show, you can see us on Comcast, Roku, Vimeo, and Jimmy Stars World Television, which is on JimmyStarsWorld.com. I really enjoyed that. He's like such a cool guy.
He's a nice
I
fella.
actually met him when we first moved to Pennsylvania.
Did I meet him?
No,
Where were you?
I met him on the internet. I didn't meet him like
Oh.
in person.
Yeah, you
um,
lie.
Well, that's meeting him. If you talk to him on the phone, I had his phone number. So
Listen, meeting somebody to me is when you shake their hand.
Well-
That's how you meet. Seeing them on the friggin' computer is, yes, Jimmy, whatever you say, darling. I'm not well enough to fight you today.
that's okay. Well, it is meeting
Today
people.
you can abuse me and beat me because I'll
Yes.
I'll be subservient because I don't feel well. I'm so exhausted. I'm going to go to sleep in a minute. What's the next guest? Is he going to wake me up or what?
Nate Sounds is coming on in a minute. I'm not sure.
I'm going to torture him a little.
No, don't torture him.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Well, I don't know him that well, and I don't know.
Oh,
if
he's probably going to be a swell guy.
everybody's a swell guy, or we don't have him on the show. What's
Right.
up, chat room?
I, mean,
Gotta set her-
I don't want a boring guest because I'll go right out cold. We'll go right to sleep.
Gotta said her brother died. I'm sorry to hear that,
Oh,
Goddess.
Goddess, come on.
Sending you love and kisses, and for you and the family. That's sad. And Cambria Carpenter, hello. Goddess says she hopes you feel better, Ron.
Goddess, I hope you feel better. You know how much I love you. Honey, what can I say? Tragedy is tragedy, period.
It really is.
It's just tragic. All
Every
this-
day there's more and more.
I really, I fight so hard to stay up and happy. Everybody's croaking on me.
Yeah, which
Thank
is
you.
sad. Bye, Pat Grant says she has to go. Bye, Pat. Thanks for tuning in. All is good. Okay, so what are we going to talk about while we're waiting for our next guest? Do you have anything particular you'd like to say?
My beauty,
Okay, we can talk about
my
your beauty.
gorgeous body that's built like a cousin.
Shipwreck house.
No, my muscles, all my beautiful body, my gorgeous personality, also my modesty.
Yeah.
We'll discuss how modest I am and shy, and withdrawn, and unintrusive. See that?
Obtrusive.
Obtrusive.
Okay.
Why, I said it wrong?
No, that's correct.
So why you correct me? I pull your beard off.
No,
I hope to get a tweezer and yank out every
No.
hair of your face to make it pain.
no. I'm in a lot of pain right now
Oh, good.
with my beard, my
Oh,
knee.
good,
I don't
good.
know why. Like
I'm
some
so
reason when I
happy.
sit here on Wednesdays, my knee just kills.
Happy you're in pain. Good.
That's not nice.
Why? I should only be in pain?
But
You don't care.
we shouldn't both be in
You-
pain.
You don't.
Oh
you don't care.
no, because I sleep so much when you get up 18 times.
Well, you didn't acknowledge me getting up 22 times last
18.
night.
I counted it.
18?
Yep.
You just laid there like a lump. You didn't say, honey, I feel sorry for you.
What am I supposed to? I'm trying to sleep.
Well,
One of us has to be
You
able to
see,
function.
I'm in pain.
I know you're
I'm
in
in
pain.
agony. You know, this infection is for the birds. I don't care for this. I wish it on somebody evil, but not me.
No, we don't wish it on anything because you know when you wish something bad on somebody, it comes back. So I don't.
Not if you wish it on somebody that deserves it. Anyway, what else can we talk about? Let's talk about what?
I don't know.
Let's talk about something interesting. Me.
Okay.
You know, I used to do that in my stand-up comedy show. I would say to the audience, okay, let's talk about something interesting. What should we talk about that's interesting? And then I'd say, let's talk about me. I got a lot of laughs on that. The old stand-up comical joke. I used to do stand-up for many, many years. Love stand-up. I still do stand-up even on this show. I'm sitting down, but it's really stand-up. Look, I look like a fat schlep. Because when you're sitting in these seats, the shirt goes up. Look,
I know.
you look like a horse.
And I'm not even that fat anymore. I lost 21 pounds.
We've got to get back into a studio with their proper seating and lighting and cameras and stuff.
We have proper lighting.
Well, this is COVID, studio COVID.
Poor little dog too is just freaking out that he's not in here with
I
us.
know he wants to be with me.
But we don't have that much time. We're only on the show a little bit more.
Where's
anyway.
our next guest?
I don't know. I can't look because I got to keep the talking going. Let me see if I got an email.
I'll sing.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, what can I sing? Oh.
Anyway, you guys. Oh, I
Are
think
you
Nate's
taking
gone.
requests?
Oh, yeah, you're taking
Yeah,
requests. There
taking
you go.
requests.
How about Blue Moon?
Blue moon, I saw you standing alone without a thrill of my own. I groped your crotch. No, not the lyrics.
But actually, you sounded pretty good there.
You know, Jimmy, my voice comes. I used to sing all the time, don't forget. I sang in my show. We did 4 songs. I did 4 songs in my show and comedy.
How about I got you under my skin?
I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep inside of me, so deep in my heart. You're only a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. And it goes on and on and on.
I don't know the rest. I don't know the words
Well,
to it.
it's nice when you have music. You know, you have a note. You got to play a note.
But they
on
liked you singing it, so
well,
that's all that
if they hit
matters.
a note on the piano, like they hit a D or a D or a C, ding, you know where you're going. To do it a cappella, you know, exhausted with it, you might notice my voice is different. It's huskier and deeper because I didn't get sleep. When you don't sleep, everybody out there, doesn't your voice change? I wonder why.
Actually, they said they love you singing for them, though. What's your favorite song?
I've got so many.
Oh, chances are.
No, those are Johnny's songs. No, my songs I did in my show, I loved. I mean, my favorite song was "The Lady Is a Tramp." That was the opening number we did.
Oh, you could do that one for everybody. You know the words for that one.
I was in drag as Jane Russell performing, and we opened up with "I get too hungry for dinner at 8. I love the theater." No, I forgot. Imagine I did that about 1,000 times because I changed the lyrics. I get too hungry for dinner at 8. I love the theater. I'm never late. I never bother with people I hate. That's why this lady is a tramp. I like the cool, fresh wind between my legs. Life's without care. I'm broke. And it goes on and on and on. What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to see if we got emailed. Just keep singing. You didn't finish the whole song.
Well, if this guy doesn't show up, what do we do?
Huh?
What'll I do when you are far away and heaven is in between my thighs? Actually, it's in my eyes. I like to make songs dirty.
Washington sang this. I don't know what song they're talking about, though.
What song?
I'm not sure which one.
Which one?
Hi, everybody. So what's your favorite? Teresa says keep singing. What's your favorite song, everybody in the chat room?
I have a song that I love. I did it. It's a Peggy Lee song, and I did it in drag, and it really used to work. And it needs musical background, but I'll give you a little of it. Just for a thrill, you made my life one happy song. Just for a thrill. I forgot the rest of the words. To me, you are my pride and joy, but to you, I'm only a toy, play it thing that you could toss around at will, just for a thrill. I love that song. It's a great song. And you sing it soft and husky, very slow and sexy. You sing that like in the middle of your act because the people now have booze, they're drunk, they don't know what they're looking at. You look better. And you sing sultry and sexy. Um, Working as a drag performer was, I was never a drag queen. I was just an actor working as a drag performer. And after the show was over, you had to see the cards I used to get. Doctors, lawyers, everybody. Would you like to meet me for a drink or something? Then I write on the back of the card, I'm a man.
They're saying bravo though, so they love you singing. On the
No,
back of your car, I'm
I
a
would write
man.
on the back of the guy's card, I'm a man. And then I'd tell the fellow who brought it, bring it back to him. And then they'd write back, I don't care. And we used to call them the Greeks, obviously, for the Greek reason. It was fun. I was invited to a lot of parties, but they were all going to be swing parties. And I think they wanted me to go there and swing with them and drag, sex. Not me, I don't do that shit.
Good.
No, I would, be better than that,
Well,
Jimmy.
of course I do.
I'm an old Italian prude. Not a prude. I was raised different than most people.
There you go. Hey, Eileen.
Hey,
Eileen,
hey,
lower the,
cuties, how are you?
lower the camera. I'll be happier.
Ooh, do you
I
really
don't
want to
feel-
talk about blowing, honey?
No, she said lower, not blower. You
Oh,
said
lower.
lower the camera, not blower the camera.
She's got
I
a
love
one-
it.
You have
How
a
low
one.
do you want me to go, honey, and where do you want me to blow?
You are one-track-minded woman. I really think you're despicable and horrible.
You
and
look
so-
fabulous.
And so forward.
Thank you, and that's
But-
why you love me, Ron.
Oh no, I don't love you as much as the hundreds of men that. You got a team of boyfriends. How did you get all those guys?
Yeah, but you're right on top.
Yeah,
if
but
Jimmy wasn't my partner, I'd move right in.
well, if Jimmy wasn't my husband, I'd move right in you too.
You gotta like love.
I'd park the Batmobile in the garage.
Oh my gosh, that's a good. I like that analogy because I'm all into the superheroes. So,
You sick queen.
You would like it, Jimmy.
what's the weather like? And what kind of weather do you have in New York? Do you have a sweatshirt on?
At the
Rain.
moment, we have slight snow showers, and it's about 39 degrees. Not terrible.
39.
Not
I
horrible.
spoke.
That's cold.
I talk to Terry every day, and Terry
Well,
gave
she
me
she only lives like 10 minutes from me.
and she gave me the weather report. She's
Well,
having a
right
nervous-
now it's just like it's half sun, half snow. It's kind of cool.
she's
That's how
having-
it is here, though. Except for that, it's like 70 though. We're not that cold.
Yeah, but it's raining.
But it's raining.
Cloudy.
You have rain there today? How cool!
The first time in a year
Yeah, we
I
haven't
have
had
never
rain.
seen it rain all the times I've gone out there to you.
because it never will.
It never rains, hardly ever.
It rains 1 or 2 days a year. This is the desert. We live in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Okay.
Where's Astro?
Astro's in another room because he's jumping all over me, and I don't want him to hit my stomach. If he jumps on my stomach, I might pee myself.
With his urinary tract infection, he doesn't want the dog
Eileen,
jumping
I'm
on.
going crazy from this. You're a registered nurse. You should help me.
I tried. I told Jimmy what to get you.
Oh no, I think you should fly here and you should massage my penis and testicles so that I don't have a lot of pain when I urinate.
Is that okay, Jimmy?
No. But you can say hi to everybody in the chat room since you were in there, and now you're in the
was.
show.
Hi, everyone.
Eileen
I love
Shapiro
all of you, and
is
you
one
guys
of
know it.
Eileen Shapiro is one of my dearest and most loved friends, and this is how we play with each other. There's no truth here, folks. It's just a whole lot of camp and
Even though she
carrying on.
has seen his penis and he
I
has
have
seen
seen
her
his
boobs.
penis
And
And she has seen her, and he has seen her
I've
boobs.
seen her boobs, and her boobs
many times.
You have beautiful breasts, I must tell you.
Sometimes you can't even help it.
No, but seriously, you happen to have gigantic, enormous breasts, but there's no stretch marks. Nipples,
None.
beautiful nipples. I mean, you have beautiful model. You were in an art gallery, have people paint you, student artists. You should go and pose for them. You're beautiful.
Teresa
breasts.
Saban says, "Oh my goodness."
No. She really
Hi,
had.
Teresa. I love you, Teresa, and you know
And
it.
Gotta says about 8 inches.
She really has beautiful breasts. truthfully.
Ron is actually about 9.5 to 10.
Oh, God
You know,
forbid.
funny story. We're all getting
Never,
dressed to
never.
go-
You're
Wait, wait, she's telling a story.
Wait, I'm
Oh.
telling you a story about your penis. So hold on.
not
All right, so we're all
9 to 10.
getting dressed, all fancy to go to this Oscar gala. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at Ron's pants because I can't help it. And there's his penis sticking right out of his pants, like out of the material. Like you can see it. Like he had underwear on and you could see it. And all of a sudden, believe it or not, he gets all flustered and he goes, "Should I change?" Of course he didn't. But,
Well,
but I
you
mean,
know,
that thing is huge.
it's not huge. You're making it up. It's really not. It's not
Jimmy, am I
9 or,
lying?
No.
it's not 9 or 10. Jimmy, it's not 9 or 10 now. Cut the shit.
Okay, but it's not little.
No, it's not little. It's average. You know, whatever.
It's
No,
more
it's
than
not
average.
Honey,
It's
I
more
know-
than average. When he goes to the urologist tells him, well, you've got more than most. And they would know because they look at 1 million dicks a year.
Let me, Ron, believe me, I look at 1 million dicks a year too, and it's more than that.
That was a good one, actually.
And I just want to say hello to Dave Keens, okay? Because he stayed in the chat room, and there wasn't any nice women for him, but he stayed anyway. So, hi, Dave.
Now
Keens.
you're here.
Hey,
show,
Dave.
Show him a nipple. Make him
And
happy.
say hi to Miss Kim. She's talking. I was writing it to you a lot in there.
So what had happened with our guest? He got lost in space?
I'm not sure. Eileen was trying to get in touch with
I
him.
was trying to get in touch with him, but he's like missing in action.
And they wonder why they don't get famous. That's the best.
You know what? You have a point. You have a really good point.
How come nobody knows who I am? Because you
I
have
know who you are.
No, if you make a commitment, listen, swear to God, Eileen, I didn't sleep last night. I'm exhausted. I could go to sleep right now. I peed all night long, dribble, 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 with pain. My bladder hurt, my penis burned. It was nightmare.
Aw.
I said to Jimmy, I'm a trooper because I don't know if I could do the show today. How could I be crazy and funny when I'm in? Right now, I have a urinal between my legs ready to pee any minute.
Let me see.
No, I'm not. You know, that's well, show
Well,
business.
it's not the urinal.
Show
I
must
wanna
goes
see.
on.
No, I was trained as a young fella. No matter what, the show goes on. You never stand anybody up. You make sure you're there. If you're, I mean, one thing they have to say, any of the movies I've been on, everybody has to say Ron Russell is on time.
Actually, I'll say though that they love Eileen as a fill-in, and that Eileen is going to make Ron's penis famous, like you made her tits famous.
Yeah, well, yeah, my penis is famous in some parts of town. But no, seriously,
Listen, your penis is famous in New York. It's famous in Pennsylvania. Well, maybe not so much in Pennsylvania, but definitely New York.
Florida.
Definitely Long Island. I can vouch for that. Of course, it was all before Jimmy, but it is famous.
That's okay. So we should also tell.
I dated a lot of people. I was never a cruiser because my father, you see, my father he liked women and he always ran around with women. I made my mother's life miserable. So my father used to brag sometimes to me and he'd say, I never got syphilis or gonorrhea ever. Like that was a proud thing for an Italian cheating father to say. And he would say to me, I'm going to teach you that you never get gonorrhea or whatever the hell it is. And my father was very strict about certain things. He'd say, when you see a woman, you size her up, you know exactly what she's got. I mean, he was crazy. He loved women. And
So, what advice did he give you about men?
None.
None.
Stay away from them.
No. He if he knew, he never said. He was dying of cancer. And I took him out of LA, Long Island George Hospital, and we were driving home, and I said, Papa, I don't know if you know I'm gay. And he said, honey, I know. We just didn't want to talk about it. He said, I don't mind that you're gay as long as you stay with Sal for the rest of your life. Because I was with Sal for 46 years. He said, as long as you're with Sal, we don't mind. We just don't want you to be like the other ones. Go in the men's room and, whatever. And I was raised that was just not nice.
So Backpack John, who learned the word glory hole on our show, wants to know if you're glory hole famous.
No.
No, he's not,
No.
by the way.
I have had friends that love glory holes. I used to live for them. And I'd say, idiot, you stick an erect penis through that hole. What if the guy on the other side has a meat cleaver and he comes down and chops your dick off? Aren't you afraid? I mean, how do you put your penis through a hole in the wall, not knowing what lunatic is on the other side? I mean, you got to be out of your fucking mind to do that.
Do
So
you
I never
remember when
did.
we went ghost hunting, Ron? And you and Ricky
Yes.
found the glory hole in the
In the
ghost
wall.
hunting place?
And we were peeing. How about when you came out to Beverly Hills? We took you to where that singer was.
George
arrested?
Michael.
Michael's got arrested in the toilet.
We went to the
We went in
toilet.
the bathroom and took pictures.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Eileen and Ron. I took pictures of
And-
Eileen and Ron at the stall where
and
George Michael was trying to get blown by the police officer.
And Eileen is in the men's room. So
And
she's
it's
not-
really gross,
she-
little teeny. I thought in my head, because the music video showed a nice bathroom, I kind of like thought like in my head that it was going to be like a nice bathroom, but you went in, it was like disgusting. It was like a little teeny one urinal, one stall bathroom.
It's a little park bathroom for people that, you know.
And then
children
someone
maybe.
was brushing their teeth in the water fountain.
A homeless
Yes,
person.
which that was terrible too.
But you
Homeless
know
man.
what? So people come to Hollywood to see the little stars. I come to Hollywood to see the bathrooms. How sick is that?
Well, you got to admit that we're very good hosts.
Yes.
We give you a very diversified book.
That's right. We took you to an Oscar party and to a toilet.
Right.
Yes.
And you talk about opposite ends of the poles. That's true. To the most glamorous Oscar party that my buddy Sue, you know, I love Sue Wong, is my bud.
Eileen has been to the house, and her favorite part of the house was the Jimi Hendrix bathroom.
Yeah. That,
Yes. I
I-
got to
I-
pee in that bathroom. I got to pee where Jimi Hendrix peed. How cool
Good
is
for
that?
you. Well, I got to pee where Jane Russell.
Everybody
peed.
knows that story too because they're saying it. That's how I brought it up, is because Teresa was mentioning it there.
Well, when a friend of ours from, I won't give her name, she may get embarrassed, but Leslie, my daughter Leslie's very good friend, came to visit us in, well, yeah, I guess, Palm Springs the first time, not this time. And she peed in my bathroom. And she came out and she said, I peed where Jane Russell peed. I said, yeah, the same toilet. But I didn't change toilets. Jane didn't take it with her. So she was all excited that she peed in the same toilet as Jane. We have very crazy friends. Very
No,
strange
your
friends.
your house is the best house in life. When I go, I have my own bedroom, my own bathroom. Sometimes I share it with Ron, but only when he's doing my hair. And
Right. Because I used to do
Ron
hair
made me
years ago.
breakfast every morning,
That's right.
and then Ron and I went up to the mountains and left Jimmy alone. Hmm
That's right. So I could work, and so I didn't get sick driving in his car through the mountains.
And
It's
I got
scary
a
as shit.
$380 speeding ticket.
Ticket.
Imagine what they-
And how he didn't get arrested, I don't know. He just,
Well,
it was
no,
the funniest thing. The guy was like, "Well, what's your address?" He goes, "Well, I don't know. I just moved here."
I wasn't
Like,
going
who
to give
gets
him any
away with
information.
that?
I wasn't going to give
Right.
him information. I told him. I
But
said,
he actually doesn't know his address, and he doesn't have a California driver's license, so he
No.
doesn't know his
I
address.
still have an East Coast driver's license, and my license plates on my car at that time were East Coast. So I said, no.
Yeah, your license plates on your car at that time were also like expired. So I
Yeah,
don't know
but-
how we weren't arrested.
Well, no, only because we were up in where were we? Idlewild.
Idlewild-ish.
And there's no cell phone stuff up in Idlewild, so he couldn't verify from his car if I had a license
Right.
or not.
You're
So-
right. Maybe
because
that's
there's-
why. I thought he just liked us.
A little bit of that, but I mean, I always had a personality. I was fucking around with him. He kind of brightened his day, but fuck still gave me the ticket.
Yeah, but Ron, you were going 120 in like a
I was
like
not.
40
But that
miles.
is so not true. I was going 67 or 60, maybe 70 in a 55 zone.
Well, in that little car, it felt like 120.
Yeah, it's scary as
Well,
hell.
it's not for me. Where
Ron's
was
a
I?
great driver, though. Ron's an excellent, excellent
Yeah.
driver.
I've been driving since I'm 16. And if you
No,
learn to
excellent.
drive, you learn to drive in New York City, you could drive anywhere in the world.
Totally.
My daughter Leslie was amazed when we were in Paris and we were driving around the Arc de Triomphe. And you know how unruly that is. The cars are cut. I mean, it's crazy. And Leslie said, Daddy, aren't you afraid? I said, no, I feel like I'm on 3rd Avenue and 59th Street. You know, I drive like a cabbie. You have to drive like a cab driver if you live in New York.
No, you're a great driver. You really are.
No,
Almost as good as Jimmy, who gets us lost every single time.
no.
That's not true. I only got us lost once.
Jimmy
Oh.
drives. I mean, I sit there, I get agita, I get upset. I mean, I don't say anything because I don't want to upset him. to get from one traffic light to the other is an hour and 20 minutes.
No, it's not.
I say, you know,
Funny.
Jimmy, we have an appointment. We might be late. Can you move it? And then he speeds up to like 50, 55. And then 2 minutes later, he's back to 40.
We wouldn't be late if he was like ready when I told him we need to be ready. I go in there, I said we gotta be ready to leave at 9:15 a.m. and now we leave at 9:35, so of course we gotta like go drive 8,000 miles an hour because
Jimmy,
like we didn't leave when we were
But
supposed
that's how
to.
I do things.
Wait, I gotta defend Ron. Okay, every appointment that he had to go to this week, he was ready, and you weren't.
That's not true.
Well, I kept hearing him call you.
Only because he said, let me know when you're ready to go.
Oh,
No, for me to get from here to Eisenhower Hospital where I had my treatment,
It's a 30-minute drive.
you know, and I make it in 20.
No, he doesn't.
I do it in 20. I lived here for years. Trust me. I drive an Audi Rocket. You know, my car is a Quadro. That car goes. Even if I'll let you drive it when you come out. Even if you want to go slow, it doesn't know how.
That's not true. When I drive it, I can drive it slow.
No, you don't. You drive it a little faster than you drive your car.
all
That
kidding
car-
aside, both of them are the best drivers in life.
No, neither one of us ever have accidents. I mean, Ron had an accident, but it wasn't his accident.
That wasn't
Somebody
his
hit him.
fault.
Yeah, somebody hit
No,
him, but he
that-
never hits anybody.
Dizzy bitch hit baby and almost destroyed my car. And I fought like hell to have them repair it, and they did. And baby's, you know, fine. I love my car.
Did you win? Whatever happened with that?
So it's still going on.
Going on. It was for years.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I don't care.
So tell everybody about your book, Eileen. Let's
Yes.
get you some promos. So you guys, Irene wrote a great book, and she's working on another one now. And the name of the book is called Go, Eileen.
It's called,
It's called
How to,
Waiting for Adam.
I thought it was
and
How to
it's-
Satisfy Yourself with a.
Yeah, you know who I spoke to today? I spoke to Adamant's merch guy, Roy, by the way. So
We
the
met
book
him. We met him when we went to the anime
We
concert.
met him, yeah.
Yes, I know. So the book is called, he's in it too. The book is called Waiting for Adam, and Jimmy wrote the forward, and Ron's in it, and Jimmy's in it, and all kinds of pictures. Besides all the interviews that I've done, I think Jeff Timmons might even be in that book. I'm not sure. I might have put him in.
I mean, hang on. Did you get laid last night? You really look good.
I didn't, but I was dreaming about you, Ron.
She's such a
She's
bad
getting
girl.
really quick too.
She's a flirt. A bad girl flirt. No, seriously. Usually after a woman gets laid, she's prettier than ever. You know, more glowy. And you're glowing, so you look
Because
like.
I was thinking about you.
Yeah, right. Okay, go ahead. Talk about
Ron, I
anime.
love you, and you know that. And I love
I love
Jimmy.
you back. Talk about how bad you want to ball out of man.
I don't, though. I really don't. You know what? If I had my choice, and one of our clients who I love, Sherry Nelson, asked me if I had my choice, okay, between Rick Springfield, Adam Ant, and Billy Idol, because they were all on my bucket list. Okay, who would I pick? Jimmy
Rick
might know.
Springfield. I
Yeah.
pick Rick Springfield.
Totally.
Wait, no, isn't he? What's his name? His husband?
No, he's
Melissa Niederman, isn't that?
her husband's in his band.
Her
yes.
husband plays
Right.
in the band.
I met him, yeah. hmm
I mean, you've already interviewed him twice, haven't you, or 3 times?
I've interviewed him twice. I've met him. I've interviewed Adam. I've met him. Never Billy Idol. Does anyone out there know Billy Idol? I really need an interview with him. So if anybody can help, I'll give
I
him
went
a
to
trade
I went
whatever
to see
you want.
Rick. I went to see Rick Springfield for the Living in Oz tour when I was I guess I was like a freshman in college, and then I went and saw him in Las Vegas when he starred in FX, which is like a Broadway musical type thing, but he was the star of it,
Mhm.
and I got to meet him there, but I didn't get to take a picture because that was like back when you used
The
shitty
next time,
cameras.
Eileen, the next time you see Bruce, just throw him on the floor, sit on his face,
Who's
and tell him
Who's Bruce?
Oh.
Springsteen.
No,
Oh,
it's Rick Springfield.
It's
not
Rick
Bruce
Springfield.
Springsteen. I don't
Do
care
I
about
know?
Bruce Springsteen.
I was gonna say I've never heard you mention Bruce Springsteen, even though his Born to Run album is one of the greatest rock albums of all
Well,
time.
the one
It is,
that-
but he doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, me
All right, we're
neither.
talking about Rick. Throw Rick on the
Rick.
floor, sit on his face, and tell
Why
him.
don't we get Rick on your show?
And we should try to get
We
him on.
probably could because we know Melissa Niederman.
No, she wouldn't get him on our show. We would need to go reach out though to get him on.
Oh,
Reach out. I know where to reach out. I need to do
Melissa-
that.
Melissa-
Yeah, let's reach out and get him.
Melissa's
get him.
husband is his piano player.
Keyboard.
Who in the chat room wants to see Rick Springfield? I
I'm sure
can't
they all.
see
They're all
Jared
saying yes,
Leto.
Eileen, so they would love it.
All
Everybody would
right.
love it. Like Rick Springfield's
Isn't he the
huge.
one that said born in East LA or something?
No,
No.
Born in the USA is Bruce Springsteen. Rick Springfield has lots of great songs. Jesse's Girl.
Uh-huh.
Well, he's not the one that sings born in the USA.
No, that's
No.
Bruce Springsteen.
That's Bruce
Get
Springsteen.
them confused. Rick, what's this one's name? Rick what?
Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield.
Here's
and
Eileen's
Yes,
Bruce
bucket
you
list,
know,
you
you know
guys.
that song. He's from Australia.
Jesse has a friend. I know she was a good friend of mine. Lately something's changed and it's hard to decide. Jesse's got himself a girl and I want to make her mine.
Meanwhile, what do you think happens to our guest?
I don't know. Who cares?
Well, you know what? Find out if he's a Republican, because if he's a Republican, they may have killed him.
Yeah. So who's on your bucket list? Tell everybody, Eileen. You can let everybody know who's your bucket list. So we know Ron's bucket list. And everybody knows my bucket list. I want Molly Ringwald.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I want Alice Cooper. I want Billy Idol. I want. You know what, Jimmy? I think that you have a copy of my bucket list.
I do. It's not in here though. Shawn Mendes, you said you wanted for the young people.
I would like Shawn Mendes for my resume, and because I actually took all 9 grandchildren to see him, and he's actually super, super talented. So I would like him.
I like him too. Everybody wants Tina Turner.
I want Tina Turner. I already asked
I love Tina.
John Valesco for it, who I think you're having on your show next week or
He's
something.
coming on next week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are these people we've met or we've never met?
Who's your ultimate? No, she's never met these people. Who's your ultimate interview? Who do you want to interview that's still alive?
Oh, Johnny Mathis. Come on.
Ron, you should do that then.
I know him. I've met him many times.
Yeah, he won't come on.
He doesn't, especially a gay show. He's very, very shy.
No, but you should just knock on his little door because I know you know where he lives.
No,
'cause he showed me.
I've been to the house. Are you kidding? I know where the house is. Although I think he sold that house because it went on fire. I remember him telling me that Diana Ross bought the property right down in front of him, and she built a 2-story house that blocked his view of Hollywood. And he was furious because she don't like him. Don't get
Wow.
along. So then I think Johnny's. He used to live up on Sunset Plaza Drive, all the way up. I think he's moved. I mean, I could reach him but he doesn't do interviews, and he's very private. He could never be on our show because he would faint from what I would ask. No.
Let's do this. Who in the chat room wants who? Chat room, you got a bucket list. Write it down.
Write your bucket list, you guys, in the chat room. Somebody over. Teresa Saban wrote Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I don't know if that was for your bucket list.
I know them. They played in Florida.
Yes.
My show, Ron Russell's, whatever it was called, went on before them. Ask Leslie, she'll tell you. And the Chili Peppers came on.
I met them because I used to hang out.
They performed the same night that my show was performing. They were performing.
Goddess wrote Woody Allen. Ron hates Woody Allen.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, she also wrote Dave Gahan, which Dave Gahan, I believe, is Depeche Mode or something.
I would like to interview
Larry David. That's a good one. Wanda Sykes. That's a good one. Boomer. Wanda Sykes and Larry David are good ones. Did you ever watch Larry David?
I have connections to Wanda Sykes.
I love
I
Wanda.
interviewed her.
She's hilarious.
Wanda
actually stayed in my house in Fire Island for the weekend.
Wanda has got to come on our show. She and I together will be a blockbuster show. I love Wanda Sykes.
And Larry David is hilarious. Do you
And
ever watch
Larry
Larry
also.
David?
I never did.
He's that old bald guy. He's hilarious.
Fabulous comedian. And
Actually, he
writer.
might not come on though because he would be competing with you for laughs.
No,
That could be interesting.
No. You'd be surprised how many comedians like to come on because they find it a challenge. I would work with any comedian. I think we would play off of each other. Like Eileen's a comedian. We play off of each other. If you don't,
No, I'm
play
not a
off-
comedian. I just happen to like your penis.
No, but you have a good sense of humor, and that's comedy. Okay,
Yes,
comedy.
I do have a good sense of humor.
That's all you need in comedy. If you don't have a good sense of humor, you're a lousy comedian.
You know what? I just love to laugh. To me, laughing is the best thing that you can do in life.
There's no
Find a
question
better
about it.
sex.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Did you ever laugh while you had an orgasm? I did.
Yes.
I was
Yes,
screwing my wife, and I don't know what happened, but we both started to laugh at the same time. It was the best orgasm I've ever had. Laughing while you have an orgasm. Now they're going to kick us off the air for sure.
No, they won't.
Probably.
Oh, we're gone. We're finished. We're gone.
Teresa Saban says too much information. And then she laughs. Then she laughs afterwards. She's like a
Teresa,
total
you don't know
perv.
the half of it, honey.
She's
I'll
a
fill you
quiet
in.
perv. She's like really like a quiet perv. She's so fabulous. Like she loves all the dirty shit.
Yeah, but she won't really admit it. She'll only kind of half admit it.
I know she only half admits it.
I'm happy to hear that our friend Fran Drescher may be reconciliating with Peter.
Mark
Really?
Dickinson.
Yeah, they're going to live in the same building or the same wherever, not have sex, but have their relationship because he adores her and loves her.
He
and
loves her. I
and-
interviewed them both,
and
and he
she
actually cried. He loved his
cries, right?
Not lying.
No, I know, and she loves him.
She
Like
loves
Fran-
him. Hmm.
Friend said, there's nobody out there that can do it. She said, and sex is not the most important thing in a marriage. It's getting along and loving each other. So I'm hoping and praying that Peter and Fran will get back together.
Oh my God, I would love that. That
I
would
would love
make
it
me
too.
really happy.
You know how many gay marriages
Hang
there
on.
are?
We got to go, you guys. We got like so. You guys follow Eileen Shapiro on Twitter at Eileen Shapiro 3. Thanks for filling in. I'm at Dr. Jimmy Star. Ron's at Ron Russell Show. Get her book, Waiting for Adam. Just Google Eileen Shapiro, Waiting for Adam on Amazon, and you can get it. And we want to thank the chat room. Lots of new people. We want to thank Jeff Timmons and Eileen for coming on the show. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, sweetheart.
Can turn out to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
Hey, you stand us up.